Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. So today we have got a showdown of epic proportions as we dive into the world of AI coding assistants. So in this video, we're not just here to throw around theories, but we'll provide you a comprehensive exploration of the tools that are one of the top players in the game. So we'll basically be comparing ChatGPT, Bard, AWS CodeWhisperer, Tabnine, Github Copilot, Sourcegraph Cody, and Codium AI. We'll basically provide use cases for each tool in this video. So buckle up for a deep dive into the realm of AI coding assistants. Alright, so now let's start with ChatGPT and Google Bard. Guys, I basically put both of these tools in the same place because, these tools are a lot similar because if you want to deal with like coding problems or something. So if you talk about ChatGPT first, so let's just say if you want to create any code in ChatGPT, let's just say I type in, write me a Python code for factorial of a number. Okay, so after that, ChatGPT will quickly provide me with the Python code for factorial of a number. It said define factorial. If you go ahead and try to run this code, you need to copy and try to run it in any compiler, like online Python compiler, let's just say. So for these types of code, for like short code, ChatGPT performs really effectively. Okay, similar is the case with Google Bard as well. If I just go ahead and type in the same prompt, so it will basically provide me with the Python code for factorial of a number. So if I can go ahead and copy this, come to my Python compiler and paste it right over here. So it will also work really efficiently for these for small lines of code. But the problem arises, let's just say you are dealing with a big project, like big question, where ChatGPT has to produce like big lines of code, maybe like 200 or 300 lines of code. Let's just say I want to create a project of, you can say, book management system or something like that, okay? Or let's just do library management system, okay? All right, so as you guys are noticing, ChatGPT is also providing, all the important code, like all the important lines of code that a library management system has. So, now it basically has gone to like many lines of code, okay? So it's basically around like 100 to 150 lines of code, okay? So for that, ChatGPT might, cause a bit of problem. It might cause a bit of error. So let's just go ahead and try to run this. Let's just copy this, come to my Python compiler and paste it right over here. So, if I can go ahead and try to run this, so see, so our compiler is showing error, file string line 68 is saying like there is some problem in line 68. So, you can basically easily solve the problem over here. So if I can go ahead and go back to ChatGPT and paste it again, and along with that, I paste in my error as well, okay? So ChatGPT will basically help me with these type of scenarios so you can play around. So that's basically the beauty of prompts. You can literally talk to ChatGPT about anything. You're saying, I'm having error with this. Like you can say, I am having this error, okay? So ChatGPT will basically run all code once again, and it seems like there's a mistake in the indentation to the print statement. So it'll basically generate the whole code for me once again. So this is the beauty of ChatGPT in that. It says I fixed the print statement. Let's just go ahead and copy the print statement and paste it right over here once again. And now I'm just going to go ahead and try to run this whole code once again. All right, so now you can see our code is working quite efficiently. So this is basically the whole line of code for our library management system. And similar is the case with Bard as well. So if I can go ahead and try to copy the prompt I put in ChatGPT earlier. So if you can go ahead and paste it to Bard. All right, so Bard is also going to provide me with the library management system code. You can see it provided me the complete code for us. And now if I can go ahead and copy this code, come to my Python compiler and paste it right over here. So as you guys can see, it's saying library management system. So Bard is really working effectively in this case because, it's really a new tool as compared to ChatGPT. If I go ahead and add book, let's just say the title of book is Hello. Author is, let's just say, anyone, and publisher is anyone, and genre is anything. ISBN is like anything. So okay, so it's saying book added successfully. Let me just go ahead and view the book right now. So it's saying this is the book with all this information. So Bard really, did a great job of making a library management project for us, okay? And if I talk a bit more about these tools, so these tools are absolutely free. You don't need to pay anything for that. Only for ChatGPT. If you want, you can upgrade ChatGPT to Plus, and you can get a lot more features. You can basically go ahead and access to GPT for like their most capable model. You can browse, create, and use GPTs. You can access to additional tools like Delhi, browsing, advanced data analysis, and more. But if you don't want any of those, so I think the free version is actually really good. So if you wanna go ahead, you can use the free version. You can sign up and start using ChatGPT and Bard literally for free, like without paying any money. All right, so now let's talk about AWS CodeWhisperer, or you can say Amazon CodeWhisperer as well. It is basically a general purpose machine learning powered code generator that provides you with code recommendations in real time. So as you write code, CodeWhisperer basically automatically generates suggestions based on your existing code and comments. So it's basically with the help of that, your personalized recommendations can vary in size and scope, ranging from a single line comment to fully formed functions. Okay, all right, so now let's test this out. For the first example, I'm just gonna go ahead and type in my comment to write a program to find the largest element in the list, and as soon as I will hit enter, it will basically start giving me the suggestion to complete the code. And after hitting the tab, so here we have one more suggestion, which is max is equal to list. Then I'm just gonna go ahead and hit tab with one more suggestion. So now it's created for loop for me. And if I'm just going to go ahead and start hitting tab, tab, and tab, so it will basically complete the code for me. So now if I can go ahead and, run this code. So as you guys can see right over here, is providing me the correct answer, which is 10, So the program was to find the largest element in the list. So it's working absolutely fine for very basic, you can say, mathematical problems, and it's writing very efficient code for me for that. Okay. All right. So if I can go ahead and move to my next question, which is I have put in my comment, like write a program that counts the occurrence of each word in a sentence. And the sentence I provided is I'm a good boy, and sentence dot split. Then our next suggestion is for loop I in words, and if I can go ahead and try to run this again. So now you can see, so with these type of problems, it's giving me quite a bit like very efficient answers, right? So AWS CodeWhisperer is really, really good if you are handling with like mathematical questions or, like one-liners or small like type of codes. So now let's move to, our third example for AWS CodeWhisperer, which is write a program that generates a random password with specific length, okay? So now we are dealing with, a project, a kind of a mini project that generates a random password with specific length, okay? So this, I will provide a comment to that. And after that, it start providing the suggestion. So first of all, we have import random, and, then we have length is equal to input into the length of the password. So this is going to be our input. And after that, it will basically keep on giving me the suggestion, and after accepting all that, so if I can go ahead and try to run all this, you can see, it's saying enter the length of password. So let's just say I want my password length to be 4. Okay, so it has provided me with the password right away. If I can go ahead and try to run this again, and this time I provide the length as 8. So you can see it's providing me random auto-generated password for me without any problem. Okay, so AWS CodeWhisperer is really efficient if you are dealing with these type of problems, and it really works as a breeze. And if you talk about the language support for that, so AWS CodeWhisperer supports like around 20 programming languages. With the most support are like you can work with Java, Python, JavaScript, TypeScript, like C#, Go, and a lot of other languages. You can work with Amazon CodeWhisperer. All right, and if you talk about the pricing for the Amazon AWS CodeWhisperer, so it's absolutely free. You can start using the Amazon CodeWhisperer. You can integrate that to your Visual Studio Code or any other coding editor, like without paying any penny, and you can start using it free, like without any problem. All right. So now let's talk about Tabnine. So Tabnine is a really new AI coding assistant, offering dependable code completion capabilities to basically, you can say, increase your efficiency. So say goodbye to routine coding tasks, and hello to faster and more efficient development. So with my usage, it was basically really efficient and really fast than the AWS CodeWhisperer. So let's test it out. Alright, so for the Tabnine, I'm taking an example. I'm basically making a YouTube video downloader, like the whole YouTube video downloader out of Tabnine by using just comments and, by doing it with auto-completion with the help of our new AI coding assistant, which is Tabnine. Okay, so first of all, if I can show you guys, this is basically be the YouTube video that I'll be downloading with the help of Tabnine AI assistant. And for that, I'm just gonna go ahead and go to my editor, and first of all, I need to basically download few important libraries which are pip install PyTube. And after installing that, I'm just gonna go ahead and import PyTube, import YouTube, and I'm just gonna go ahead and import ARGV from SYS. And after that, I'm just going to go ahead and start typing my comment. So my first comment is going to be the link to the YouTube video is passed as a comment line argument and is stored in the variable link. And after that comment is basically will allow me to put in the link that I want to download as my YouTube video downloader. Okay. So after that, my next comment is going to be to create a YouTube object with the provided link. And as you guys can see, it's providing really efficient auto suggestions for me. And our third comment is going to be to get the title of the video and print it. Fourth is going to be get the length of the video and print it. And it's providing really, really efficient and really, really accurate the auto-complete suggestions. And after completing the whole comments and providing the link, so it's going to save. So I'm just going to go ahead and save my output path into YT folder. And if I'm just going to go ahead and run this, so you can see it's saying your video stunning sunset see from the sea, this blog is ready. Okay, so if I can go ahead and check into my folder, so you can see our video has been downloaded all the way from YouTube into our output path into our PC. Okay, so this was basically our demo test, just to see how efficient the new Tabnine is for solving a bit of a complex problem, a bit of a project. So in this case we did a YouTube video downloader. Okay, so if we talk about the pricing of Tabnine AI assistance, so here is the pricing for that. So for a starter basic code completion, which I was using, so it's literally for free. You can use it to generate 2 to 3 words short code completions. It has community support. So if you want, you can go to the Pro and Enterprise version. So you can, use it by paying $12 a month. And, after that, you'll have main features like whole line and full function code completion. You'll have natural language to code completion. You have standard support. And you also have the Enterprise, all pro features, which going to cost you obviously a little bit more on that. Okay, and if you talk about the language support, so Tabnine supports the most popular languages, libraries, and frameworks, and the most famous ones can be like Angular, C, C++, C hash, CSS, Dart, Go, Haskell, HTML, Java, and much more. All right, so now let's talk about the most famous AI coding assistance, which is GitHub Copilot. So GitHub Copilot is a tool, built into the code editor, any IDE that is basically capable of writing code itself based on the code, you're already written on your project. So, the only thing you need to do is type a function name or some comments, and Copilot will basically automatically fill in the implementation for you. How cool is that? So the tool processes the user's input in the cloud and comes back with a snippet that you just accept or you can decline or ask for further solution suggestions as well. All right, so now without further ado, let's check it out. All right, so for the first example, let's just test GitHub Copilot by solving real-life coding problems. So for the first example, I'm just gonna go ahead and hit in a comment create me a multiplication table from 1 to 10. And as soon as I will hit enter, so it will start giving me suggestions for the complete code. How cool is that? And if I can just go ahead and try to run this, so it will provide me with the accurate output, which was basically multiplication table from 1 to 10. Okay, as you guys can see right over here. Okay, so for our next example, I'm just gonna go ahead and give it a comment to create a function that takes length of a square and returns the area of the square. And again, after hitting enter, so it will start giving me the suggestion for the complete code once again. So if I can go ahead and hit enter, so you can see the answer is 25, which is absolutely perfect because our square length was 5. Okay, so for our third example, I'm just gonna go ahead and test it once again, and this time let's just go a bit complex. So I say develop a class called bank account that represents a bank account. So, as soon as I would hit enter, so it will, first of all, create a class bank account, and, it will keep on giving me the suggestion until my code is completed. Okay, so, after that, I'm just going to go ahead and type in one more comment to initialize the class and print the data using methods. So, after that, it will, start giving me the code for that comment as well. So now my code has been completed by giving just 2 comments, how efficient this GitHub Copilot is. So now let's just go ahead and jump to a bit more complex case. So it will be kind of a mini project that we'll be doing out of GitHub Copilot just to, see its efficiency, okay? So over here, I will basically be creating a tic-tac-toe game out of GitHub Copilot. So first of all, I'm just going to go ahead and give it a comment to print the current tic-tac-toe board. And after that, it will directly give me suggestion to define print board, and it will basically create the code suggestion for that comment, and after that I'm just going to comment again to check if there's a winner on the current board. Returns the winner value X or 0 or none if there is no winner. And after that my third comment is going to be check rows, check columns, check diagonals. And after providing few more comments, so it basically generated the whole code for me. And by the help of auto completion, so it had basically created the whole tic-tac-toe game for me. And if I'm just going to go ahead and try to run all this, so as you guys can see, our tic-tac-toe game is working absolutely fine. So this is how efficient the GitHub Copilot is. So it basically never miss on anything, so it's efficient most of the times. So if I talk about the language support for GitHub Copilot, so GitHub Copilot basically can work on any language. So it supports like almost all languages, including Java, PHP, Python, JavaScript, Ruby, Go, C#, or C++, because it's been trained on languages in public repositories. Okay, so it works for most popular languages, libraries, and frameworks. Okay, and it's also integrated into your editor and fast enough to use as your type. Okay, so if we talk about the pricing, so the GitHub Copilot subscription is available on monthly or yearly cycles. So if you choose a monthly billing cycle, you'll be billed like $10 per month, and if you choose a yearly billing cycle, you'll be billed like $100 per year. So you can change to a monthly or yearly billing cycle at any time. So basically it is not free, and you have to pay like at least $10 per month to start using GitHub Copilot for you. All right, so now let's jump to Sourcegraph Cody. Sourcegraph Cody is a free and open source AI coding assistant that basically writes, fixes, and maintains your code. So Cody understands your entire code database by leveraging the power of CodeGraph to gather like context, which basically assists you in writing accurate code for you guys. So without further ado, let's check it out. All right, so for the first case, I'm just going to go ahead and use Sourcegraph Cody for code explanation. So let's just say if I input this code, and if I can go ahead and go to this bar right here, and I select explain selected code high level, and after that is basically it will read all that code, and it will like study like what this code is all about, and it will generate a response for us. So it's saying this code defines a function called complex function that takes two parameters A and B, and it performs different operation on A and B depending upon their type. So if A and B are digit, it loops through the range. So it basically it's providing the whole information about this code. So this is basically the use case number 1 for which you can use Sourcegraph Cody. Let's just explore the use case number 2 now. So use case number 2 is you can use basically Sourcegraph Cody for smelling bugs and removing them, so you can find bugs in the code, and you can basically, remove those bugs from your code, by just one click. So, this is a really good use of Sourcegraph Cody now. Let's just take an example. Let's just take this code. If I can go ahead and click on, smell bugs and remove code. So, after that, it will basically say here are 5 potential issues I see in the code. Unreachable code. The first console log statement will never execute because it is after a return statement. The next one is saying it's undefined variable. Then it's saying it could be incorrect comparison, infinite loop, misnamed function. And after that, you can basically also type in your prompt to resolve the smells and rewrite the code for me. Okay. And after that, basically, it will generate the response for you. And it will basically generate the whole code for you once again. So, in this way, you can basically smell the bugs and, remove errors from the code by using Sourcegraph Cody, all right? And let's just say if you want to create some of the more complex projects in Sourcegraph Cody, so you can do that as well. So let's just say in this case, I'm creating a PDF merger utility by using the power of prompts in Sourcegraph Cody. So, just like every other AI coding assistant, I'm just going to go ahead and, type in my prompts over here. So, instead of typing comments, you can basically use the Sourcegraph Cody like whole panel to generate prompts over here, and basically generate the code for you and integrate that into your IDE like without any problem. Okay, so with the help of all of these prompts right over here, as you guys can see, so we can now create a whole working project, which is in this case was PDF merger for me. Sourcegraph Cody is a really effective and powerful AI coding assistant that you can use in your daily life, and you can really get a lot of help from that. Okay, all right, so if we talk about the language support for Sourcegraph Cody, so Cody's broad training data means it supports all programming languages, but it works especially well for like languages such as Python, Go, JavaScript, and TypeScript. So, if you want to work on these languages, so Sourcegraph Cody could be a really good option for you guys. And if you talk about the pricing for that, so Sourcegraph Cody pricing and plans are like literally free, so you can use Sourcegraphy without paying any penny. So it could really be a go-to tool for you guys if you're looking for a strong, powerful AI coding assistant for you guys that works like a breeze, all right? All right, so now let's talk about Codium AI. So Codium AI is basically a really powerful AI tool that helps developers, write efficient programs faster, and also it provides test suggestions within the IDE. So, it basically analyzes the code, as well as docstring and comments to provide test suggestions. So, in short, like Codium AI is a lot like ChatGPT, where you get in the same exact interface of ChatGPT within your IDE, like within your Visual Studio Code or any other IDE. So, you can prompt within your Visual Studio Code, and it will basically generate the code inside of that. And after that, you can basically insert that code like into your IDE, like into your Visual Studio Code. Okay, like, so how cool is that? All right, so for our use case, let's just say if I go to Visual Studio Code and, I just type in a prompt like to write a function to Python function to fit a best fit line and plot it, okay? And after that, it basically says, sure, here's an example of Python function that fits a best fit line using linear regression and plots is using matplotlib, okay? So, after that, it basically generated the whole code for me. And, after that, you can basically go ahead and insert this code by hitting this insert code button. And after that, if you want, you can like this. If you like the code, and if you want, you can dislike it. It's really simple, So basically, it works with prompts, So you enter prompt, and it basically generate the code for you, just like we did in ChatGPT or Google Bard. So, the only difference is the whole thing is happening like within your Visual Studio, like within your IDE. So, this is really a good method to work with code and, to work with different prompts, like however you want to change it, however you want to, modify your code. So that's all you can do with the help of Codium inside your IDE, like very, very efficiently, okay? All right, so if you talk about the language support for Codium AI, so Codium AI practically, supports every programming language, but some of the advanced features such as unit test, run, and fix are only supported by Python, JavaScript, TypeScript, and Java. So, if you want to work with like Python, JavaScript, TypeScript, or Java, so Codium AI could be like the perfect fit for you guys. All right, so if you talk about plans and pricing, so Codium AI is also like free. You can install it by giving like $0, like no money at all, and you can integrate that to your IDE and start using that right away, all right? And there you have it, folks. We have journeyed through the diverse landscape of AI coding assistants, exploring the capabilities of ChatGPT, Bard, AWS CodeWhisperer, Tabnine, GitHub Copilot, Sourcegraph Cody, and Codium AI. So, from beginner-friendly tips to advanced coding wizard, we have witnessed how each tool caters to different skill levels. All right, so I hope you like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.